If you're experiencing a refrigerator that just won't cool down, but the lights are on inside and maybe a fan is blowing, you can hear the fan blowing, but it just won't cool down, the first step to finding out what is wrong with that refrigerator is to do a power cycle. And that is to take your switch here, in this model it's a dial, and turning the refrigerator off, and then wait 10 to 15 minutes and then turn it back on and see if that will cool it down. In order to verify that the refrigerator is actually cooling inside, you'll take a glass of water and put it inside on a shelf and wait 6 to 12 hours and verify that that water is actually cooling down. Once you've given the refrigerator a sufficient enough time to cool that water down, go ahead and open up the door, pull that glass out, and make sure it's cooling down. If the water isn't cooling down, go ahead and perform a hard reset. Disconnect the 120 volt AC receptacle, which is shore power, from the RV. Next, remove the two connections to the 12 volt battery by disconnecting the negative terminal first and then the positive terminal. And finally, locate the solar panel on the roof and follow the wiring from the solar panel to the quick disconnect. And now just remove one of the wires. In this situation, we removed the glass of water and the water wasn't cooled down, so we know the refrigerator isn't working properly. So the next step in the process is to remove the refrigerator so we have access to the back of it so we can do some checks. So let's get after it. Remove the trim pieces on the top and bottom of the refrigerator and then remove the screws fastened to the RV. Now go ahead and remove the refrigerator from the cabinetry. Now that we have the refrigerator out, we can take a look at the wiring from the RV itself to the refrigerator, making sure these connections are good and that they're not loose or corroded. Now, remove the rear panel by removing all screws and disconnect the wiring from the appliance. For the next step, we're going to perform a leak check. To perform this, just make sure that there is no refrigerant leaking from the compressor or any lines coming from the compressor. If you verify that there's a refrigerant leak, the appliance will need to be replaced. Next, let's check and make sure that the fuse is working and in good condition. Now, the fuse can be located in the rear of the appliance or the front of the appliance, depending upon your model. This model, the fuse is located in the rear next to the power supply. Remove the top red and white wires to expose the fuse holder. Now remove and inspect the fuse's condition. If it's good, just reinstall the fuse. If it's bad, replace it with a new one. Now reconnect the red and white wires and you should be good to go. For the next procedure, we'll perform the bench test. This will eliminate everything but the refrigerator. So go ahead and connect that power source up to the refrigerator and turn the appliance on. If the refrigerator works and cools, then the refrigerator is good. Now reattach the negative and positive wires to the rear of the refrigerator and fasten the back panel to the appliance. Now it's time to reinstall the refrigerator to the RV.